People who have worked at drive-thrus, what is the weirdest thing you've heard from people who didn't realize you can still hear them after ordering? Listen to a full-on argument between a couple one day when my drive-thru was moving really slow, swearing, threatening to break up, the whole thing. It was an eventful 5 minutes and took everything in my power not to turn my mic back on and go "you get him girl" to freak them out, haha. But my favorite thing was listening to people turn their music back on and sing after they were done ordering. It was just so adorable and happy to hear people jamming out without a care in the world. Sometimes people would add guitar or drumming sounds to the performance too. I worked at a coffee chain that installed a camera in the drive-thru at one point during my time there. I never heard anything memorable, but not realizing I could see them on the new camera, people would definitely let their guard down. Usually it was just like devouring food from other chains in the least possibly graceful way, but one time a guy came through with a really small dog. On the camera the dog was standing on his shoulders, but when he got to the window it was in the passenger seat like nothing ever happened. But I know better. I went to get a coffee for my mother at Starbucks, and I was listening to a podcast through Bluetooth really loud, because you have to for some reason. And I paused it to order. Well, my mom called while I was in the middle of the order, so the freaking Imperial March from Star Wars went blaring through my car, scaring the living shit out of me and the poor gentleman taking my order. We both had to take a minute and he just laughed. Then girls around him laughed, and then I profusely apologized, like I was at a confessional. I proceeded to tip him like $7 on a 5.00 order. He was so nice, and he joked about it, and I apologized more when I got to the window. I was on the phone with my friend while she was in line at Taco Bell. About 15 minutes after she ordered, I heard her thank the guy. I said, "Jesus Christ, you're just now paying? I finished dinner, took a shit, and you're still in line." I didn't realize she had me on Bluetooth through the car stereo, so the dude at the window heard me. He laughed and offered her a free drink to make up for the wait. "I'm hungry and horny," I said. "Well, we can help with the first. You are on your own for the second one." He took it in stride and was still laughing when he got to the window. Not a drive-thru, but I used to work as a delivery driver for a Japanese restaurant, and one time, when I was dropping off an order, I heard the couple inside loudly arguing. Apparently she had bought a pack of caffeine-free soda instead of regular, because it was on sale. But there was more to it. She did it to spite him for not getting for her pleasure condoms, like she had asked him to get the previous day. It was one of the weirdest and pettiest fight I have ever heard, and it was so hard to hold back my laughter when I finally knocked on the door. Obligatory not a drive-thru worker, but whenever I have my dog in the car and I stop at a drive-thru, she starts yipping and barking immediately. More than once, when I pull up to the window, the worker has said something like, "Oh, that was a dog. I thought you were making that noise." Well, this isn't directly related, but I worked at Taco Bell about a year ago, and it was around early December, and I, usually do drive-thru, was working on the line while my buddy's scene was on drive-thru. Well, the entire time he'd been saying happy holidays to everybody, so me and the other guy online were egging him to say happy Hanukkah to the next car, and he did. She just ordered like one burrito, said thanks and drove off, and we were all like, "Lol, nice one, see next D." Well, the next day we got a survey in from the back of those receipts, which is the determining factor on whether or not we get free food. If we have good surveys we get free food, if not, none. Well, the survey filled out was all 1 out of 5 stars. And here are some gems from it. Not exactly just what I remember. I had a terrible experience. The idiot working drive-thru mistook me for some fucking Jew. How does that even happen? My nose isn't that big. Is it because I only bought one thing? There isn't even that many Jews out there. America is only like 3% Jewish. Next time I expect to be treated correctly. The day we got that survey, my manager read it out loud to everybody in the back, and we all had a good laugh. Since it was such a stupid survey and it negatively affected our free food thing, he let us all make something for free. The only thing I'll miss about that shithole is my coworkers. Tonight I had a brain fart at Taco Bell, and the drive-thru menu had tiny non-backlit lettering really far from the order screen. So I'm sure I'm on someone's list here. Can I have, what's that thing on your menu? It's round, flat, like a pancake. A taco salad. I think we were both brain farting. No, that's not it. It's round like a burrito. *NOPE. Tortilla didn't come to me either. It's not the Mexican pizza. It's baked, soft on the outside, crunchy on the inside. The Crunch Wrap Supreme. Yes, one of those please. I was not high when ordering. I might as well have been though. Edit. I now remember throwing in the word pancake too. I hate you brain. Not exactly what you are asking, but we had a woman come through our Jimmy John's drive-thru. She said her husband owned our franchise and ordered a ton of food. My manager told me to give it all to her for free. Later that day we learned that the guy that owned our location was single. Kind of the opposite of this. Went through a Taco Bell drive-thru. When confirming the order on the screen we noticed there's a dozen bean burritos on there that we didn't order. We tell him we don't want them and hear a slightly quieter "well I'm gonna eat them" through the intercom. Laughed our asses off. Still comes up occasionally. I used to work at Taco Bell and it would get backed up when we were busy, where the cars would still be triggering the ordering system and the meg would still be on. There were a couple of teenage girls who came through and ordered and then started jamming to the Lion King soundtrack at full volume while they waited. I had to take off my headset till the line moved. Somewhat related, I also had someone come through the drive-thru once with a sleeping female passenger under a blanket, who woke when I started talking to the driver. She started moving, and I quickly realized she was completely naked under the blanket. The driver also realized what was happening and readjusted the blanket while handing me the money for the order. It was odd. Not weird per se, but just plain rude. A woman pulled up talking on her phone. I asked what she would like. She told me she needed a minute while continuing her phone conversation. A minute later I asked if she was ready. She yelled no and then went back to her convo with a "OMG, this bitch at the drive-thru won't stop rushing me." It was lunch rush and there was a lot to do inside, so I started helping the other team members and ignored her. 30 seconds later, when she was ready to order, made her wait a full 3 minutes before actually taking her order. Waste my time and call me a bitch, and I'll waste yours, lady. PS, we can hear everything you say the second you pull up. Maybe not that weird, but whatever. I work at Wendy's, and we had a guy come through who had this super deep masculine voice like the voice of a lumberjack or trucker, etc. He orders and then, because we are busy, he stuck back at the speaker. I think it was Party in the USA that started playing, and this guy starts singing along in a super high-pitched voice. Like little girl high-pitched. All of us with headsets, which we muted, started dying of laughter. It had been a busy and shitty day, but that man made it all better. I work at the local Cowles Jr. near my home, and one day I had a couple, I think, that once they finished ordering talked about how they would put the food on each other's body parts and eat off them while they had sex. I believe his exact words were, "I can't wait to take a bite out of that chicken pussy sandwich." Quite a weird experience, and the best part was when he pulled up to the window, he asked if I could speed up his order cause he had a very important meeting to attend. One of the greatest things I have experienced to this day. This is more of the person didn't realize what they were saying. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, I had two. One was a guy who ordered a medium large coffee. The other was a woman ordering an iced coffee who said, "And could you not put a shitload of ice in it?" I'm not a prude, but it's the only time I've heard someone swear at the drive-thru. They knew we could hear them, but we had a guy come through and ask for a lettuce with no taco. The whole crew was laughing, and his girl was just roasting him when they got to the window. Not me, but I knew a friend who worked drive-thru. Told me that one day a group of girls pull up, and after they ordered their food they began to talk about is it normal to masturbate in the shower. When they pulled up to the cashier window, my friend opens the window, looks at them dead and says, "Yeah, I do it all the time." I guess their faces were mortified. I used to work at Wendy's when we had to remind every customer they could add a Frosty to their meal deal for only $1. The girlfriend chirped sure, and after the guy thought the coast was clear, I heard him threaten to Chris Brown her because her fat ass was supposed to be on a diet. Granted, she was easily 100 pounds overweight, even before accounting for the oversized shades, but that's all on him for taking her to Wendy's in the first place.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into our iMac giveaway.